Alright, welcome back to Metal Heroes Review episode 148. We're here discussing episodes 17 and 19. I wasn't talking about 20, but I'm currently watching 20 right now, so I'm discussing 17 and 19 here. 19 is actually part 1 of a two-parter, I'll get to that later. So, 17 is simply this. So, summary, episode process, basically, while everyone's doing like some training montage, which of course they played the opening song over this little training sequence of the Blue SWAT training. Of course, Superman wants to become a member of Blue SWAT, so we have Professor Brain train her, and basically she becomes another actual member of the team, kind of, for this one episode. It's fine. There's not much else to say about this one side effect that the team does know, the show does know who this is, and like, oh, you're Blue SWAT member number 0156. Show. Yep, at least knows who he is. And Sally Play's only here for this one episode, and then we would move on from that. Now, in the case of 18, this one's a little more interesting. By the way, the whole thing with the kid thing, that he's, despite the fact that in episode 16 is like, yeah, he got out of bed, take the stuff off, then episode 17 is like, oh, he's back in the bed now, and the stuff's back on him. Yeah, it's like, did they forget the fact he got out of bed? Well, they kind of fixed that with episode 19. So, 18 basically, it's like, oh, there's a bomb in this bank, but they can't find it. Of course, poses bank robbers in order to basically get it. And there's also a pregnant woman, which they get the pregnant woman out of there because she's about to give birth. And of course, Summer disguised herself as a policewoman. It's a really interesting one. Of course, we involve the police here, where apparently their chief basically had alien invade him, and they get out, and the police are like, "What the heck was that?" It's like, none of your business. And then they fight the other one, which was a really cool fight, and they beat him. But he dropped basically a barrier thing. Well, like Steak knows what this is because he himself is an alien. So they shut it off, find the bomb, defuse it, give it to the police. And then they disappear by firing a smoke pellet, and they disappear in the sewers. Like, interesting. 19. So, we finally find out about that kid who's been popping up in episode 12. Apparently his name is Zichi. Well, this actually is. We finally find out Stig's backstory here, where he actually came to the planet 3 years after the show, so since it's in 94, so he came to Earth in 91. Which means he probably came there during, I don't think it was G-Bond. I think it was probably I think it was during G-Bond. I think it was when he, actually it wasn't G-Bond. It was basically where, actually, because apparently the previous series for Jamper take away the future, so I'm guessing this is probably during a period of time where no Metal Heroes in that time frame, because basically, the Special Rescue set in the late 90s. Yeah. So apparently it shows the fact that he, well, they explain more about this in 20. And of course also this fungus, and the fact that, well, he's more active, puts on a military uniform, makes him look like a Nazi. Not actually like a Nazi, basically like a military uniform, because basically he's the commander, per se. First mention of the Queen of the Space Mafia, which is interesting. I think the first time she's never mentioned. Yeah, I think it was 19 was the first time they mentioned her, because they've never brought up who the leader of Space Mafia is. Like, you probably assume it's some Dawn or whatever. No, it's a Queen. So it's like the Space Mafia is an alien empire. Okay. And by the way, 19 is, just like in the case 3 and 4, it's a two-parter. Yes, the Explorer Steg. Yeah, I mean, it's already been established since episode 3 that he's, in fact, an alien. Here, and of course, Suri follows them, of course, he hears it, and he comes across a capsule. It's like a lot of episode 19 is set up for 20. And from what I can talk, I'll talk a little about 20. I'll talk about 20 next episode, but I'd say of the 3 episodes, 18 was okay. 17 was okay. I love 18. 19 was really good. Now we're getting interesting here with this one. You're thinking with 19, like how many episodes before my break? 13. Yep, 13 episodes, and then I'll be able to go on break. So tomorrow, I expect basically a view for this tomorrow. So this is a very particular video. Please be sure to like and subscribe to notification tomorrow. I can see Middle Heroes, the final episode of Trigon Stargaze, which hopefully was not delayed. Walking Demon School Imricon, Case Closed, which that is coming out tomorrow. As for any more anime tomorrow, I don't know. I'll have to wait and see, because the only anime that, unless of course, I don't think they release, unless they get any word about any more dubs tomorrow, I'll find out later. But I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.